Welcome, everyone. We're going to give it a second or two to let some people join. So we've got a couple screens going at the moment. So nice to see you all. We wanted to give you a couple of updates about three big things. Upcoming teacher training. We have a summer intensive hybrid that's starting very soon. We'll talk about that more. And a advanced teacher training that's also starting relatively soon. We'll talk about that a bit more. And then a very exciting online workshop series that starts in less than a week, starts next weekend. So we'll talk about all of those. I think we'll give it just another moment to kind of get the live stream going, and then we'll dive into that. And I thought also we could talk a little bit about what we've been up to. So we've had a busy couple months.
Yeah, busy couple months.
Yeah.
We were in Tucson, Arizona, where we did practice week, which was our 9th year of practice week, which makes next year our 10 years. And be on the lookout for something special next year. We've been talking about that for a little while, really hoping that 10 years of practice week, that we could do something a little bit exciting, something a little special.
Yeah, we have some big plans in the works. So that'll be you're downplaying it a little bit now, but it'll be a big announcement once it's out in the world.
And then also we did a week of function and modifications, which was like a really lovely way to discuss postures.
Was a teaching continuing ed week.
And then we did we went to New Jersey and we were in Tampa just doing weekends of workshops. But now maybe this is what you're getting at. We have moved over to the UK in Oxford. So this is a new space. We moved out of our apartment in Duluth, which is where we've been for 7 years. We were there all through the pandemic. If you know any of our videos, you would recognize the bookshelves behind us. Those days are done.
On to the next.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll get some bookshelves in here, but it's going to be a new phase, a new era for us here.
So maybe you can talk a little bit about the upcoming teacher training. Maybe the first big thing is the summer intensive that we want to talk about. This is a 200-hour teacher training. And this is one that is for anybody who wants to learn to teach yoga. It's also for anyone who's already done a teacher training but wants to teach Ghosh Yoga or just continue their education in a slightly different way. And it's also for people that maybe don't want to teach but just want to learn a bit more and want to study and want to immerse themselves in topics like philosophy and history of yoga, anatomy, postures, and then of course teaching techniques if that's a goal. So the summer intensive starts on May 12th. So that's coming up really soon. It runs from May 12th until August 1st. And it starts online with video courses, and these are released every couple weeks. You have kind of a bit of flexibility in the schedule to be able to do the video courses and the practices at a time that's convenient. And then the in-person intensive concludes the program, and that runs July 28th through August 1st. And this year it is in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Minneapolis Hot Yoga, which we're really excited about. It's an excellent studio. If you're in the area, definitely check it out. So that will run starting May 12th and it will go until July 1st. Starts online and it ends in person for a week-long intensive. I really, encourage you to check out more information about it online if you're interested. We ran the summer intensive for the first time last summer, and it was really, really a great experience. I think just having that sort of intensity to the program, that it's a concentrated amount of time. People really devoted themselves to the program, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we call it the intensive because it is a compressed timeline.
Yeah.
Like it's a 200-hour program, which we designed to be over the course of 8 months. And this is over the course of 3 months. So it's twice as fast, maybe even a little bit more. So you have to be committed to it. It's going to take up a moderate amount of time in your life, and it will be intensive, but that makes it exciting.
Yeah.
It gives a little bit of urgency. And yeah, and then we end all together. This is a lovely thing about it. We end all together in a room together for a week. This year we'll be in Minneapolis.
So that's the summer intensive, the 200-hour. We also have a 300-hour advanced teacher training program that starts in June. It starts June 1st, and that one runs until December 12th. And it runs in the same format, meaning it starts online and then it ends in person. So there are video courses, lots of different topics for this program. It's definitely an advanced program for those who have completed the 200-hour already. But that is starting soon, starting June 1st. So just over a month or so left to register for that one for anybody that is interested in that one.
Yeah. And the foundations, like the 200-hour is a building block. And this is the foundation of all of the future that you will have as a yogi, as a teacher. The 300-hour requires that foundation.
Yeah.
It requires some knowledge, actually a good amount of knowledge of where does yoga come from, right? What is its history? It requires a lot of knowledge of what does the body do? How does the body work? What's good for the body? What's bad for the body? How does that interact with the postures? And so in the 300-hour training, on day one, we expect that everybody will know those things. And then it's a magical thing about doing advanced trainings or being in a room with advanced people, so to speak, is on day one, we can all like move forward and we all have a good, strong cornerstone. We have a good foundation and we can move forward relatively quickly and relatively deeply and intensely, because everybody in the room is so committed and usually has a really good base of knowledge. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing about the advanced training. So if you have a good foundation of knowledge and you want to see what that next step is like, if you want to move forward, if you want to make yoga or philosophy or teaching a bit more part of your life, this may be something to think about, because you will be forced to think and critique and come up with ideas, and you'll be in an environment with other people like that, and we all push each other forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the 300-hour. It just runs once per year. It doesn't run as often as the 200-hour. But this year it's starting on June 1st. And then the 2-week intensive in person is in December 1st through the 12th. That's in Tucson, Arizona. And so that concludes the advanced teacher training for this year.
And when we are all together in the advanced, in those 2 weeks in December, those are they're actually lovely weeks to spend together, because all the morning we just practice. It was like a 4-hour practice in the morning with pranayama and meditation and asana. And then in the afternoon, we do the whole afternoon of discussion and philosophy and teaching and presenting, things like that.
Maybe I'll add one more thing about the 200-hour, the summer intensive that starts May 12th that we have coming up. We've been getting quite a lot of questions about 26 and 2 teacher trainings, where you learn to teach that sequence, the 26 and 2 yoga sequence popularized by Bikram Choudhury. And the thing about that in terms of the Ghosh Yoga 200-hour is that you do learn all of the postures and the breathing exercises that allow you to teach that sequence. So if that's a goal, this program does cover all of that information, plus additional postures and additional breathing exercises. So that's something to think about if you're looking for a 26 and 2 training. This is not specifically only a 26 and 2 training, but it does cover all of that material. And so that's just something to think about for the 200-hour program. That question we've been getting quite a lot through email. So just to point that out for anyone that's wondering about that.
And in the 200-hour training, we don't teach you, what's called dialogue.
Yeah.
We don't teach you say these words and say them the same every time, and that is how you teach. We come at it from the other side, which is understand the body, understand the postures,
and the context.
And the context, look at your students, and from that knowledge, the words will come. So we think of the words as the end result rather than the beginning. And our hope and our sincere belief about this is it makes a better foundation.
Yeah.
That if you start with how does the body work and how do the postures work and how do they go together, this is a foundation for any of your instructions. It's also a foundation for learning other postures, more complex postures, because those things, those concepts, those ways of looking at the practice don't change, and they're fundamental to being a yoga practitioner and a teacher.
Absolutely. Okay, so the last big thing we wanted to update you about and talk about is a very exciting online workshop series. We've been preparing behind the scenes quite a lot. I say we, but it's been a lot, mostly Scott. Preparing behind the scenes a lot for this series, which is called How to Live Yogic Ethics and Beyond. This is the first time we're running this series. It's an online workshop series. So you can be in any place in the world. It doesn't matter. The time zones are such that if you're in North or South America or Europe, it will work pretty well. If you're in Australia, it doesn't work quite so well, but every workshop is recorded and it's available to stream indefinitely afterwards. So even if you can't attend for time zone reasons or schedule reasons or any other reason, if you can't attend live, you will be able to have access to the recording. So this is a series that starts on May 3rd. It starts next Saturday, and it runs for 4 consecutive Saturdays. These are 2-hour workshops online. They are not physical practices. They're discussions and lectures, and they're all about morality and sort of morality as a framework for living in the world. This is something that gets brought up in yoga and is important to traditions of yoga in a variety of ways. So we'll explore those aspects of it, but we'll also explore it from a few other kind of angles.
Yeah, this program comes from the difficulty just living in the world. Like, as humans, we are faced every day with ethical challenges, right? How should I act in this situation? How should I perpetuate any sort of power that I have? How should I act? And it's so easy. Maybe I'm the only one who looks around and thinks, wow, I don't know why these people are making this decision. It seems like there should be a different structure, or there should be other considerations that would lead to different decisions. But that, of course, it very quickly leads us to turn that back to ourselves and think, okay, what actually are the structures that guide our behavior, whether we notice them or not, right? Where do our decisions come from? Where does our sense of good and bad come from? What are the structures that guide our behavior? And so that is the foundation of this whole course, is looking at how we act and why, and what are the structures that guide our ethical direction.
So we'll talk a bit about this as it pertains to basically yoga in the sense of classical yoga and the probably most well-known systems of morality in contemporary yoga settings. And then we'll also talk about concepts of nonviolence from different perspectives. Like also just asking what is morality and where does it come from? Because we all are sort of, for the most part, born into some system of morality, usually. And these come from often religious or spiritual frameworks, or just instinctual frameworks, living together as human beings, as creatures on the earth. So we'll talk a little bit about all of these different maybe ways to think about morality, and then try to have some interesting discussion about what drives our action and what drives our sense of right and wrong. So this is a really exciting, I think, new series for us. It's different than, how to use your muscles, how to backbend your spine. It's a totally different angle to yoga practice, but one that comes up a lot, and one that people, I think, generally often think is part of yoga, at least in some way. So we want to look at what that means a little bit more. So this is an online workshop series, just to say that again. It's called How to Live, Yogic Ethics and Beyond. And you can register anytime. It's available to register at ghosyoga.org. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, then you get 20% off. So check out your Patreon profile to make sure you take advantage of that if you're a Patreon member. And if you're not a Patreon member, you could still consider checking out patreon.com/Ghosh Yoga, because we've got a lot of classes and tips on there, and kind of a lovely community going over on Patreon. Some good discussion over there as well.
I think Patreon, we crossed 70 classes. So there are more than 70 classes there. We've been doing it now for 5 years. And I think we will continue for the foreseeable future.
So over 70 classes, and it's $3 a month. So hopefully quite accessible. At least that's the goal for us with Patreon. Yeah, we'll continue adding classes each month and tips. And then the subscribers get discounts and kind of behind the scenes looks into different things, discounts on workshops, that kind of thing. So you can check that out if you're interested in any of that. But these are the three kind of big updates, upcoming things. Summer Intensive is coming up very soon, starting on May 12th. That's the 200-hour Ghosh Yoga teacher training. The ethics is starting even sooner. The ethics workshops online starting on May 3rd. And then advanced teacher training starting June 1st. So all these things are coming up in the next month or two. So very exciting set of kind of new things that we've got, and lots more in the works, as always.
Of course.
Lots more ideas in the works. If you're just joining, we started by saying a little bit of what we've been up to. And we were in Arizona teaching, and New Jersey teaching, and Florida. Before that, actually, we were in Spain and in Finland, over in Europe. And I just bring that up again to say how lovely it's been to be with perhaps some of you watching this, to be in person. It's been really, really lovely to gather and to interact with people in person, and to, just be challenged and interested by what comes up, the questions, the perspectives, the practices. It's been really, I think, lovely to be in rooms with people lately. So thank you so much, anyone that joined those workshops or those communities. Thanks for hosting us. And we are always, traveling and booking workshops in various places. So if you would like us to visit your studio, or if you know of a studio that might want to host workshops, you can always send that to us via our website too. We're always looking to meet more of you and to have that time together.
Yeah, we're always trying to get out in the world, because, now you all know this. We spend a lot of time online. There's so many classes on Zoom and on, across the internet, which is really lovely because it enables us to
Mhm.
be, and you to be anywhere in space, right? You can be anywhere
Mhm.
around the world. And with all the recordings now, you can almost be anywhere in time. But there is still, and there probably always will be, something special, something powerful about being in a room with someone and looking at their
Mhm.
face and hearing their voice and responding and discussing. This is something that cannot be replicated by even the most remarkable video call.
Yeah.
So being in rooms with people is still, in our opinion, the best way, the gold standard of interacting. And so we really try to get around
Yeah.
as much as we can.
Thanks for joining, everyone. If you joined us for this little update session, if you have any questions about any of the upcoming sessions, the ethics workshops that start next Saturday, or the summer intensive teacher training, or the advanced teacher training, both which start very soon, please send us a message here, or you can also always contact us on our websites, ghoshyoga.org, GHOSH, yoga.org. Probably very accessible through the links. And there's a contact form there. It comes to us and we can help you out, with any questions that you have. Sometimes there are really specific questions about scheduling or about payment plans or about teaching situations where you're not sure which teacher training would work, or, any variety of things. So please just reach out to us and then we can help you out, and see if it's a good fit or how best to move forward. But if you're thinking of the ethics workshop, that's first out of the gate. So definitely check that out. You can find description of each of the workshops on our website under immersions. And yeah, it can give you the time, the dates, all of that good stuff. So we hope that you'll join us if you're interested in that. And if not, hope to catch you either in internet land or in person sometime soon. Thanks, everyone.